Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am answering your questions from Quora today in this video. I got this question from Trevor on Quora. So Trevor from Quora, hello. Your question is about to be answered. You asked, what did you do to manage and maintain or even expand your limited horizons when you realized your life was controlled by a narcissist? And I think this is a great question because a lot of times people can recognize the fact that they are trapped or that they're limited, that there is something not quite right in the relationship, especially if they've been married or living with a narcissist for a long period of time, but they're not quite sure how to get out of that trap. They've been living that trap for so long, they're just not sure even where to get started. So, sometimes when you recognize this, it's important or it's the right decision to make a change immediately and quickly. So leaving the house, leaving the living residence where you are with the narcissist immediately, trying to find a different place to go, staying with family and friends, packing up your stuff and just getting out of there. Sometimes that is the right decision, but sometimes it's not that easy. Maybe you have children, maybe you just don't have a vehicle, maybe you have no income or limited income so that you wouldn't be able to go that far if you left the narcissist, or you wouldn't be able to make it a permanent thing. And so in these cases, if you aren't in physical danger, I recommend really starting to take a look at where you are in life. So why is it that you are with the narcissist? How did this whole thing come about? Because when you're in the middle of it, sometimes it can seem like, I just don't know how this all happened. I don't know where things went wrong. I don't know how it ended up getting this way. You know, was gradual over time maybe, or perhaps you just have you know, some belief that says this is just always how it's going to be and it's never going to change. But then one day you wake up and wonder if it could change. So take a look at how this situation happened. Then take a look at what are some things that you could do to shift the focus. So when you're with a narcissist, the narcissist is all consuming. They demand energy and attention and every form of energy supply that they can all of the time, and especially if you're living with a narcissist, especially if you are cohabitating. So recognizing that, first of all, and thinking about ways that you could shift the focus. So oftentimes your thoughts, your planning, your interests, your schedule, everything has been about the narcissist. So really start thinking about some ways that you can take back those autonomous things that you have given up to the narcissist. How can you take back your control into those areas of your life? This could be something just as simple as once a week you're gonna enroll in a tech school and go to that class once a week to start working on your degree. Maybe you want to learn a new language. You start doing something for you. Maybe it means that every Monday at lunchtime you go get a coffee with friends. You start doing things with other people. It's difficult right now because some states aren't open yet, still from the COVID-19 situation, but doing what you can do to shift the focus. There's lots of universities, even Harvard is offering online courses for free, you know, so start looking into ways that you can nurture your own self, your own identity, things that you love, and start shifting the focus from the narcissist back onto your purpose in life. The next thing that you can do is, again, specifically if you are cohabitating and you recognize that the narcissist is just stifling everything about you, you know, your interests, your passions, your schedule, everything is dominated by the narcissist. And when you come to that realization, try to begin emotionally disconnecting from the narcissist. And I've talked a lot about this. I think I even have some videos out there specifically called How to Emotionally Detach Yourself from the Narcissist that you can go check out. But start putting distance between yourselves emotionally. You might not be able to create distance between yourself yet with a narcissist physically, but that doesn't mean that that mentally emotionally and spiritually, you can't start detaching yourself from the narcissist and the effects that it has and how much you let it affect your internal world. One of the things that you can do, and Dr. Caroline Leaf, I've recommended her app called Switch before. I'm going to put a link to that in the description of this video so you can go check that out. I still recommend it. She talks a lot about putting people in a box, toxic people who are in your life that you have to be around. So maybe this is a coworker who's a narcissist, but again, maybe you're living with a narcissist. So what you want to do then is to get into the habit of imagining them in a box. You put them in a soundproof box and there they stay. They are separated from you physically, emotionally. You just don't allow any of their words or behaviors to come into your space because they're in that box. And you can still interact with them, you can smile at them, you can say yes to them, you can say no to them, but you don't need to get drawn into their space because they're in this little clear box that you put them in that's soundproof. And so you can tune them out any time that you want. And this is a really good exercise for people who are naturally wanting to resolve the conflict or not fight, or who are at the point where they want to start justifying themselves to the narcissist or defending themselves. And sometimes you have to know when the point is to not do that because it's just not going to have any impact. And in fact, you're going to get more upset and frustrated with the situation while the narcissist is actually gaining energy. So sometimes what you think you're doing the right thing for is actually feeding the narcissist's ego. So instead of doing that, try imagining somebody in this little box, and you can start to emotionally and mentally and spiritually start distancing yourself from them. They're over there, you're in your own space, and you've also started to shift the focus back onto yourself. So the things that you love to do, the things that nurture your being, your soul, you start to really schedule those things. Those things become the priority, and you stop allowing the narcissist to dominate every single thing that you do, where you go, how you spend your money, who you hang out with, all of those things. You need to start taking back control over that. You may experience some pushback when this first starts to happen. The narcissist may not like that you didn't make dinner, or you didn't do a certain thing around the house that you should have done because you had started to shift the focus. But again, imagining the narcissist in that little box is going to help you remain focused and what your ultimate goal is. You want to become the person that you were created to be. You want to do your purpose to the full, and you can't do that without investing time and energy and your passion and all of your resources into that. So the narcissist will continue to take as much as you will allow them to take from you. You need to start working on boundaries, and this is a really healthy thing for any type of relationship, but especially to ensure that once you are out of the relationship with the narcissist, you don't go back to the same type of person. And I've talked about this a lot. You attract the same spirit in a different body if you don't heal the roots of what attracted you to the narcissist in the first place. So this is the time when you can start to do a lot of that inner work and start figuring out what was the root reason that you ended up with the narcissist, what was so attractive about the narcissist to you, and what was attractive to you about the narcissist. Because sometimes those things we might think like, oh, they prey on people with low self-esteem, but that's actually not true. The majority of narcissists look for people who can add value to them socially, at least, if not financially and otherwise in their status. But so the things that attracted the narcissist to you could be strengths of yours that you just need to learn how to use, how to guard, a little bit better, a little bit more with wisdom, and now with understanding, because you understand what the effects of not doing that are, and how much destruction the narcissist can cause in your life. And before I close out this video, I just want to share a quick story with you, a true story. A lady who was my client a couple of years ago, she recognized that she was in a relationship with a narcissist. They had been married for many years, like 18 years, a very long time. They had 2 children, but I think they were out of the house already. And she had always worked like part-time outside of the home. And the narcissist controlled everything about her. So she would get her paycheck and give it to her husband, who would put it in the bank account. He limited how much money she had access to. He limited what she could do apart from going to work, who she could hang out with, and things like that. And she really wanted to finish her college degree. So she started taking online classes, and before you knew it, she was advancing and she was qualifying. She did something in the medical field, and so she was advancing in her position at work, which would then allow her to work a little bit more, so she was able to get more hours through this education, and she was also able to earn more pay. And she decided that she just wasn't going to allow him to control her anymore, so she opened up an online bank account. She transferred her money to be direct deposited into that account. She started having less and less reactions to what the narcissist was doing, saying, trying to control, you know, how she went and where she went and who she went with and all of that kind of stuff. She just stopped allowing that to bother her and continued to live her life. The husband, who is the narcissist in this situation, well, he had always been seeing other people anyway, and she always had known about that, and while it was hurtful to her, she just stopped allowing it to affect her emotionally. So he came home one night and basically said that he was going to leave her, that he was going to file for divorce and end up with this other lady because he said that she was so much better than her and all of this kind of stuff. And she said, okay, you should do that. And this infuriated the narcissist. He just couldn't believe that she wasn't going to try to fight for him to stay or try to change his mind or feel insecure about the situation. And a week went by, he never filed paperwork for divorce, so she went and filed instead. And by that point, she had already saved up enough money because she had her own bank account that she was able to leave. She didn't want the house, and sometimes I will advise you to not leave the marital residence if you want the house, but she didn't really care if she had it. She wanted kind of a new start, and so she went and got herself an apartment, and through the divorce proceedings anyway, she ended up getting alimony and all types of things from the narcissist anyway. So I just tell you this story to say it's absolutely possible, even if you don't have a college degree, even if you don't feel like you may have the opportunities on the outside that you wish you could have or that some other people do have or whatever, your situation is not hopeless. You aren't stuck in a place that you don't want to be. You can always decide that there is a solution to this situation, and I'm going to find it, and I'm going to continue to work until that solution leads me to the freedom that I'm seeking. So just having that in mind and remembering this, because it's not always going to be easy. It's not just like one day you're just going to wake up and be really good at putting the narcissist in a box or emotionally or mentally detaching yourself from the narcissist. So you're not going to be able to do that necessarily just overnight. It's something that you have to work on, and remember all of the connections that you have with the narcissist. You're likely going to have to do some work and heal yourself because of those connections and work through those like root issues. And that's not a bad thing. That's a really super good thing, because you're going to be healing yourself. You're going to be more open to discovering your true identity and following your purpose in life. So I hope this answers your question, Trevor, and everybody else who's watching this video. I pray it was a blessing to you and that you got some useful information from it. Again, I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel below. Turn on the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel, and I'll see you next time.